Hey guys, welcome to Trinier Printing. Today I'm going to be showing you foiling. At the moment we're doing a clear foil on a Heidelberg Platin GT. At the moment we've got a clear stock which we've printed an imposition on, so as we can get the position, because this job is going to be eventually mounted back to back with another sheet which is going to be letterpressed. So I'll get down and show you the different things that we do to make this job ready. We've got this printed out digitally, so as we can get the position backed up, along with this sheet, which is getting letterpressed. This means that when we go to glue the sheets together and then cut them down, they all back up nicely. You can see those trim marks there and those trim marks there, because our foiling block doesn't have any trim marks on. Foiling blocks are particularly expensive, so we only run the image area without the trim marks, just to save a little bit of money, which is always a good way to do. This job, because it's getting mounted back to back, I'm using a hard nylon, I think that's 0.6 of a mil piece of plastic, because the impression doesn't matter on the back of the sheet. So we can really ramp up the pressure on it and get a nice clear definition to the edges. We're foiling onto a colour plan bitter chocolate sheet. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a pull and show you guys how it comes out. Put my impression on here. Now, as I'm still making ready, you can see up here a little bit light on of impression, whereas down the back we're starting to get a better coverage of foil. On the back, almost no impression coming through. As I said before, it doesn't really matter about the impression on the back, as it's getting mounted back to back, but it's always good to check. So I'm going to make a few adjustments, put a little bit more packing under. I'm currently running the temperature at 127 degrees Celsius. I think that's fairly good. Clear can take a little bit more heat, but you certainly don't want to get any furry edges. So I'll come back to you and show you another sheet. Before I do, I'll just show you how we get our imposition. This here is our imposition sheet, and I'll foil over the top of that. Now it might be a bit hard to see, but you can see a gloss and a key line. If I get it down there, key line, so that foil position's got to move slightly, but all in all it's not too bad. That's probably a better shot. And I think these fluorescent lights are causing my camera a little bit of problems. You can see it there, it can come up a little bit, so that one's not too bad. Alright, so I've adjusted the position. I've also included 2 sheets of 100 gram underneath the steel jacket for a little bit more impression. I've got a few sheets here to take a pull, so we'll check out what it looks like. Also, just mention that we're using Milford Asta, or foil makers I think they call themselves now, triple F 000 foil for this. It tends to work nice and sharp compared to some of the others, especially on uncoated paper. It seems to work good. I've had to adjust my foil draw length. I don't know if you can see here, but some of the images were doubling up on each other, so we just adjusted that slightly. Hopefully it'll work. So on this one, check out our position. We'll get out of the fluorescent lights. See if we can't focus. Anyway, even if you can't see that, I'm going to say it's pretty good, because I can see it and it's nice. But what you got to check when you're lining up to digital print is whether the digital print is square. Even though we use a Ricoh 7100, which has mechanical lathes, it still is not perfect. So you can see I'm nice and square on the sheet, but even though my camera doesn't want to focus, there we go. We're running down that line there. We're pretty good. So the actual foiling of a clear foil onto the bit of chocolate is coming out nice now. Getting good impression, good shine, a nice sharp edge to that, no furriness. There we go, no furriness, a nice sharp impression. Colour plan is a beautiful stock. Unfortunately, it's very price prohibitive. You can see there the kind of impression that it's got coming through the other side. What tends to happen is when you're going onto something like the plastic that I've got down there, or the mylar I think it is it gets a little bit shiny and it flattens out the image. It's a very hard sheet, but as I said before, that doesn't matter on this particular job. So I'm going to go off and run this. Thank you. And so guys, this is a machine running. Took me a while to get the paper to get picked up nicely. Alright guys, as you can see, we've almost finished the job. Run alright, just for a couple of missed sheets. We haven't got any doubles throughout the job, so we're all good. Come down here, we have got 201 on the counter. Now we always run more than we need. In this particular job we want 150 sheets, but we'll keep some just in case anything goes wrong when mounting or with letterpressing. Okay. Thank you. G'day guys, it's James from Trinier Printing here again. I'm back today after I last spoke to you regarding this job. You know what we've done overnight. Yesterday afternoon we glued these sheets back to back. The white and the brown, which we've already clear foiled. Now unfortunately I didn't get the video out in time, so the job's been letterpressed, but I'll give you a rundown of what we've done. Photopolymer plate, letterpress machine. We're using a GT Platinum. I think it might be a GTP, or that one over there is a GTP, one of them anyway. The reason why I like using this platen as opposed to the small platen is it's got the 3 form rollers, which means you get better ink coverage over the top of the type, less spotting in the type, and a smoother finished print. Back up here, we've still got the ink in the duct. We use a rubber-based ink, gives a better tackiness to the print, which then once it hits the paper it's almost dry instantly, so it's good to cut down and get out the door. Photopolymer plate, we wash these out ourselves through an exposure unit, expose them with film onto the plate, wash it out, and this is what we get. Then we put adhesive onto the backing, stick it down onto our ruled plate, get it into position and start letterpressing. Now, I don't know if you're going to be able to see with this camera. We are nice and sharp with a good bit of impression. Now this is, it's actually onto Conqueror high white wove. Conqueror, another beautiful stock, and that wove texture gives it a really nice finish and also gives it a little bit of room to get some impression. Depending on what kind of pressure we use, we like to have different packings. I think we'd usually use something like a bit of paper with some plastic on here so as you don't get too much impression onto the back cylinder. So you've got maybe one piece of 100 gram, piece of plastic, a couple of pieces of 100 gram under there, and another few pieces of plastic just to get the height right. If you have too much packing in there, you get too much bruising on the back, and we don't really want to see anything coming out on the back. And from here we can go to cutting the job down and sending it out to the customer. Alright, I'll give you a quick look at what the finished job looks like. Beautiful stack of cards. Yeah, thank you.